Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this dress here. So someone sent it to me, but I think the focus is mainly just the sleeve that has this keyhole by the sleeve. So basically I've done this before, but I'm going to just explain it again. So guys, basically all you have to do, since this is going to be, I've done something similar, but you just need I'm going to be using a basic bodice pattern for this, but you can also use a bustier, a one shoulder bustier, which I'll also link below. So first thing, what I have here is just my fabric folded into two, and then the back panel also folded into two. Because this is one shoulder, I'm going to be using my zip by the side instead of the back, right? So I'm going to just insert my zip by the side. So that's why I don't have any zipper allowance, and the front and the back are the same width. So now the width I have here is just my bust divided by 4 here plus extra 1 inch. So extra 1.5, 1 inch of 1.5 inch of sewing, but you can just do 1 inch of seam allowance. I just like to have enough fabric inside of the cloth. So what I have here is plus 1.5. So now the next thing you're going to do is just to, and then the length is just your shoulder to waist plus 1 inch, half an inch of sewing the top and half an inch of joining the bottom. So now I'm just going to go ahead and insert the shoulder measurement divided by 2, subtract 1 from it. So the shoulder I'm working with is 16, divided by 2 is 8. If I remove 1 from it is 7, because this is a sleeveless dress, right? So now after that I'm going to come down here by 1 inch of shoulder slope, and then I'm going to mark my armhole divided by 2, which is going to be at 9. Then connect it all the way up, and then I'm going to mark my armhole, right? And then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and mark your bust divided by 4, right? And then plus your sewing allowance marked. My waist divided by 4, mark that one also, plus my 2 inches of sewing allowance and that. So because you need to add your dart at the waist, right? So mark that also. And then I'm going to connect from the bust to the waist. Just your basic bodice is what we are still working with here. I'm going to also go ahead and cut it off. So guys, after that, now I'm just going to come in here by 3 inches for the basic neck width. Mark that, connect my 1 inch of shoulder slope to this point here, and then I'm also going to cut it off. Once you've done this, now the next thing you're going to do is just to come down from the neckline by 1 inch. This will help us determine where the neck width starts. So once you've cut this now, the next thing is to also remember to mark your dart. So for my front dart, all I have to do for the 2 darts is just to come in here by my nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is going to be 4. Mark it here, and then my dart is going to go from the shoulder. The one in front is going to go from the shoulder to 1 inch below the bust, below the nipple line, which is 13 for me. Shoulder to nipple for me is about 12. 1 inch below that is 13. So I'm going to just mark it down here. So half an inch on both sides. This is going to be my front dart. The back dart is going to go up to the chest line, which is almost from shoulder to 10 inches, right? So that one is done. I'm also going to notch it here, so I'll know where to transfer the dart at this point. So now what I'm going to do is to open this up so that I can cut out one shoulder and then cut out the keyhole by the sleeve. So now that is this way, I'm going to go ahead and, you see, you're going to face it the way you would normally sew it, right? So you see the wrong sides are facing each other. And now what I'm going to do is just to go ahead from the shoulder that I want to cut off, and then I'm going to remove one. So let's say I want to remove this side. I'm going to just go down from here all the way into the armhole. and then I'm going to cut it off. So now this part is out. Guys, another thing that you're supposed to do, if you're not making it is with the bustier, right? You're not making it with the the princess that method. You're using a basic bodice. Don't forget to just go up on one side here, right? And adding it that. So somewhere here, approximately the same side where you have this your bust dart here, somewhere here along this line, also come up here by this top part here and just give it a dart and mark maybe quarter of an inch here and then quarter of an inch here. This will help you just to secure this top part here and give you this bustier look without having the bustier look, so that it doesn't gape at the top, right? Because sometimes if you leave it open here, it will gape at the top part. So this darts you can do without it at the back, but for the front, because of the bust, you need to add this here so that it doesn't when you wear it, it's not gaping open at the top here. So you see I have a dart here that I'm going to put in when I'm done. So I'm also going to go ahead and notch it. It's just for the front. I'm going to also notch it so I know where it is. Somewhere here. It's about 2.5 inches of length, right? So now that I've done that, the next focus is going to be on the sleeve, right? The keyhole thing is what I'm going to do next. So basically what I'm going to do now is just by this part here, this shoulder, I'm going to find, it depends on you, some people do their own and one is bigger than the other, right? It depends on you. But I'm going to make mine to be equal, right? The two straps that are creating the opening will be equal. But some people normally make the outer one big, the inner one small. So what I'm going to do now is this shoulder slope, you're going to find halfway through. So I have about 4.5 here. Halfway through will be 2.25. Mark it, right? And then I'm going to this is the center, right? And then I'm going to just rule a line coming down to where you want the keyhole to stop. So let's say you want it to stop somewhere just by the same line as the armhole, right? I'm going to rule a line going up. So now it depends on you. You're going to make the shape yourself. So I'm going to go out. So what I'm doing here is there's a straight line, right? And then I'm going to give it a curve coming, like a curve coming here, and then another curve coming here, meeting up at the top. That's basically what I'm drawing here, in case if you're not seeing it. So now on the outer side again, I'm going to also do the same thing on the other side. And then they both meet up here, right? You see, I make sure to make the top part here still straight. They meet up just before it gets to that straight line, you understand? Because you're still going to take away half an inch when sewing this top part, so you don't want to make the opening too wide. So now what I'm going to do is just to go ahead and cut it out. But I think this is too low. Let me bring it down just a little bit more. So in total, the length is about 9 inches. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut it out. Because if it's too high, it won't show the beauty of it. It will look like it's just a mistake. But if you bring it down a little, at least it will show that it's intentional, right? So now I have it this way. Guys, you don't even have to make it straight. If you don't want it straight, you can always go this direction with it, right? I've seen some that make theirs this direction. It doesn't always have to go straight. This one in the picture on the thumbnail is almost as if it's straight, but you can always make something that looks like it's going this direction, just right on top of your boob, and then this strap is falling over, if that makes any sense. So now I'm going to, all I have to do is just to trace this particular pattern on a lining. I'm going to trace exactly what I have here on a lining, and then I'm going to sew out this center part and tuck it out over again. So I'm going to do that and show you guys what it will look like. So guys, you see what I was explaining? I traced out lining also here. but I didn't cut the lining open until after sewing it. So what I did is just to sew the armhole, sew the keyhole, sew this part here, right? So at this point now I can split it open and cut this part out also. So I'm going to just do that now. So guys, now that I've cut it open, the next thing is just to put my hand in here and pull this out, and then put my hand in this other one here and pull it out. Once you do that, go ahead and iron it. So guys, this is the top. So once you pull it out, it will look something like this, right? And then you see I've gone ahead and ironed it and also picked my dart. So you see it has this cup here, guys. Like I said, I've already made this top here in form of a princess dart. So I think the person that is asking me the question is actually a beginner. So this is just if you're making it with just a basic body. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to link the previous tutorial on the channel. So now that's why I'm trying to make this one as detailed as possible. And the previous one has a zip at the back. This one doesn't have any zip at the back. It's going to have a zip by the side. So now all I have to do, you see the back panel, all I did for the back is just to join the lining from the off shoulder part, right? You see the opening is still here, the sleeve opening is still here. So what I'm going to do at this point now is just to place it this way, the fabric facing the fabric. You see this one, I finished up the armhole, I finished up the neckline, finished up this part, picked my dart. This part is done, everything here is neat, ironed it out. But now for this one, I just did this part and ironed it. What I'm going to do now is just to take this here, place it on top here, place it on top here. Take the two ends of this sleeve, put one to the very end here, right? Put the inner one to the very end of this part here. And then this second one, I'm going to put it, but I'm going to leave like half an inch at the edge here, right? That will help you determine how much space you're going to leave in between the sleeve. Because remember, you still need half an inch to join this end of this part here, so that you can finish up this armhole part. So basically how you're going to put this here is take one sleeve. First of all, the fabric is facing each other. Take one end, put it very close to the edge of this side of the back panel, right? To the very end here. And then you're going to take the second one, place it very close to the end, but leaving half an inch of joining this lining to the fabric, so that you can use it to sew close this armhole, so it will look exactly like this one here. So now, once you've done that, you're going to double stitch this top part here. Once you double stitch it, then you pull it out again. So I'm going to do that now, close up the side seams, and then I'll bring it back so you guys will see. So guys, now that I've pulled it out, I went ahead and put in my dart at the back, right? So now there's another thing that we always do for the back panel. Even if there's no zipper, you still have to reduce the back panel. So let's say I still have my zipper allowance here at the center back. You're still going to go up by 1 inch by this center back here, and then blend it into the side this way. This will help my girder to relax better. Or even if it's a pencil skirt that I'm adding to the bottom, it will help it to relax better at the waist and not bulk up. So I'm going to cut this out and blend it into the side now. You see? So now this is done. I've also picked my dart. So you see, all I have to do now is just to join, take it this way, and then sew it close. Sew close this side. My zip is going to be on the side without the, on this side without the sleeve. So on the off shoulder part is where I'm going to put my sleeve. So I'm going to just go ahead and sew this one close. And then guys, the next thing is the girder. So this is what I'm working with. So basically how you're going to calculate your girder, we've done it several times. To calculate the length of your girder is basically, my dress is going to be 41. My shoulder to waist is 17. So now subtract these two from each other. It should be about, I think, 24 or so. So that 24, you're going to add plus 1.5 to it, 1 inch of folding the edge here, and half an inch of joining this upper part to the bodice, right? That's basically how you're going to calculate the length. And then to calculate the width, that's the width, how much you need, how much fabric you need to make the girder. You're going to just do your waist, round your waist. Let's say your waist is 34, you do times 3, or that's how you're going to get the width. Let's say you do times 3 and you get maybe about maybe 90, maybe 100 or so, then that will be the width of your fabric, right? or you do times 2.5 if you don't have enough fabric, but times 3 should be okay for a gaiter. It will make it look at least full enough, right? So that's basically what I'm going to do. So I've already cut mine out and I've already folded the edge, so I'm going to just take this now and then gaiter it. If you want, you can make your gaiter like use your fabric and sew a very light stitch and pull the gaiter before you join it, but I prefer to just join my gaiter directly, just pinching it with my own hand. So that's how I'm going to put it together. I'm putting the side zip and bring it back so you guys will see what it looks like. So guys, this is it here. I also went ahead and picked a little, just a very small dart by the armhole on this side too, just so it can balance out and not have like a gaping look by the side. So this is what it looks like here. This is it here. So you see the body, and then I have my zipper by this side too. So that's basically how to make this here. You see the back, it has no zip. So that's basically it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.